There's just some more Mr. Justin Stoney. I'll just roll my head until I find it. Nasal resonator. And let me do some pages of the Grinch. Candles of Christmas. Maybe a whole thing. Every Jew who down Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why, no one quite knows the reason. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. But I think the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. But whatever the reason, the heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's. Staring down from his cave with a sour, grinchy frown, all the warm lighted windows below in their town. For he knew every Who down Whoville beneath was busy now hanging a holly Who wreath. And they're hanging their stockings, he snarled with a sneer. Tomorrow is Christmas, it's practically here. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers, nervously drumming. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming, for tomorrow I know all the Who girls and boys will wake up bright and early to rush for their toys. And then, oh the noise, noise. That's one thing he hated, all the noise. Then the Who's, young and old, will sit down to a feast, and they'll feast, and they'll feast, and they'll feast. They would feast on Who pudding and rare Who roast beast, which is something the Grinch could stand in the least. And then every Who, then he'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, this tall and small, would stand close together, with the Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. And they'll sing, and they'll sing, and they'll sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought, I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must stop Christmas from coming, but how? Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. I know just what to do, the Grinch rocked in his throat, and he made a quick Santa Claus hat and a coat. And he chuckled and clucked, what a great Grinchy trick. With his coat and his hat, I look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer, the Grinch looked around, but since reindeer is scarce, there was none to be found. Dad stopped the Grinch, the Grinch only said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. So he took his dog Max, and he took some black thread, and he tied a black horn on top of his head. Then he loaded some bags and some empty old sacks on a ramshackle sleigh, and he whistled for Max. Then Grinch said, giddy up, and the sleigh started down, toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, no one knew what was there. All the Who's were all dreaming, sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square, this is stop number 1, the old Grinchy Claus hissed, and he started to climb the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney and rather tight to pinch, but Santa could do it, so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a minute or two. Then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, with the little Who's stockings hung all in a row. These stockings, he Grinched, are the first things to go. Then he slivered and slunk with a smile most unpleasant around the whole room, and he took every present. Then he slunk to the icebox. He took the Who's feast. He took the Who pudding, and he took the roast beef. Then he stuffed all the food up the chimney with glee. Now, grinned the Grinch, I will stuff up the tree. As the Grinch took the tree, he started to shove. He heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast, and he saw a small Who. Little Cindy Lou Who was no more than 2. She stared at the Grinch and said, "Sandy Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?" But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick. He thought of a lie, and he thought of it quick. "Why, my sweet little tot," the fake Sandy Claus lie. "There's a Linus tree that won't lay on side, so I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. Fix it up there, and I'll bring it back here." And his fitful the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar, and the last thing he took was the log for the fire. Or their walls. Their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And one speck of food they left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. They did the same thing to other Who houses, leaving crumbs much too small for the other Who's mouses. The quarter of dawn, all the Who's still in bed, all the Who's still snoozed when he packed up his sled. 10,000 feet up the side Mount Crumpet, he rode his load to Tip-Top to dump it. Pooh-pooh to the Who's who was grinching humming. They'll find out now that they're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. They're just waking up. I know just what to do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two. Then the Who's down Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. Then that's a noise, grinned the Grinch, that I simply must hear. He paused, and the Grinch put a hand to his ear. And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why sound sad glad? Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any present at all. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Somehow or other it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold as snow, started puzzling. How could it be so? Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more. And what happened then? Well, in Whoville, they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. He rode into Whoville. He brought back their toys. He brought back the presents to Who girls and boys. He brought back everything back, all the food for the feast. And then he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. Welcome Christmas, bring you cheer. Cheers to all who's far and near. Welcome Christmas, while we stand heart to heart and hand in hand. Dark of the Night from Anastasia. Dark of the night, I was tossing and turning, and the nightmares I had was as bad as can be. Tearing me out of my wits, a corpse falling to bits. Then I opened my eyes, and the nightmare was me, as once the most mystical man of all Russia. When the royals betrayed me, they made a mistake. There's each of them pay. But a little girl got in the way. If I knew everywhere, Rasputin's awake. In dark of the night, evil will find her. And in dark of the night, just before dawn, revenge will be sweet when the curse is complete. In the dark of the night, she'll be gone. My powers are slowly returning. Tie my sash and a dash of cologne for that smell. Please just fall into place. I'll see her crawl into place. Das Vidania, Anya, your grace, farewell. In the dark of the night, terror will find her. Here's the least I can do. In the dark of the night, evil will brew. Soon she will feel that her nightmares are real. In the dark of the night, she'll be through. In the dark of the night, he will find her, find her. In the dark of the night, terror will cause her tear. Here's a sign, it's the end of the line. In the dark of the night, in the dark of the night, come my minions, rise for your master. Let your evil shine. Find her, yeah, yes, find her faster. In the dark of the night, in the dark of the night, she'll be mine. Let me try to find somewhere out there on the mountain. Another ad. Oh boy. Somewhere out there, beneath the pale moonlight, someone's thinking of me and loving me tonight. Somewhere out there, someone's saying a prayer, and we'll find one another in the big somewhere out there. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. And when the night wind learns to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true. And even though I know how very far apart we are, it helps to think we might be wishing on the same bright star. And when the night wind starts to sing a lonesome lullaby, it helps to think we're sleeping underneath the same big sky. Somewhere out there, if love can see us through, then we'll be together somewhere out there, out where dreams come true. Thanks. Bye, and I hope you liked the video. Take care.